What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. This here is Legitical Response. We cover political news. And, you know, guys, we've been covering a lot of kind of depressing stories lately, so I want to bring a little bit of levity to the channel and cover something a little bit more fun, something we can poke fun at, I guess you could say. Check this out, y'all. Muslim women for Harris pulls support over Palestinian DNC speaker controversy. That's right. So what happened? They wanted a Palestinian to speak at the DNC. And guess what? The DNC said no. So this entire group of non-committed, this entire Muslim Women for Harris or whatever, which was a group that showed up big in the primaries, by the way. They showed up on the primary as voting for non-committed or nobody or blah, you know, you get it. They weren't voting for Joe Biden because of his backing of Israel. These are people with Israel derangement syndrome. They think that Israel runs the United States, and they think that, you know, Israel is everything that's wrong with this world. They just, you know, it's one of those things that you can carry on a conversation with somebody and talk about, like, I don't know, shoplifting in your local city over here in Los Angeles or something like that, and these people will, within 30 seconds of trying to explain why it happens, end up talking about Israel, right? It's people like that. That's derangement. That's Israel derangement syndrome. If you're talking to somebody and it's something totally unrelated and they just so happen to blame it on Israel somehow or get around to talking about Israel somehow, that's how you know these people are deranged, folks. But let's get into the story. Amid reports that the Democratic National Convention will refuse demands to feature a Palestinian American speaker at the Chicago Convention, Muslim Women for Harris announced that they cannot, in good conscience, continue the organization. So the organization is outright dissolved, y'all. This Hamas insurrection thing that's going on in the Democrat Party is just, I'm loving to watch it. It shows everything that is insane about the Democrat Party, right? Like, this is what blows my mind, just outright. Okay, so you got the Democratic National Convention that's going on, and there's all kinds of insane protests that were, you know, pseudo riots. Outright. There's been several arrests and blah, blah, blah. Some people were just outright rioting, but I'm not going to call the entire thing an outright riot. I'll call it a pseudo riot just because some of these people were rioting, tearing down barricades. And so you would think, okay, this is the Democratic National Convention. Okay, so this must be Republican activists protesting the DNC, right? No, as a matter of fact. And this is why I call these people insane. It's Democrats protesting their own party. What sense does that make? Why are Democrats protesting Democrats? Somebody please answer me that down in the comment section as to why. Why are they doing this? Why are they protesting their own party? What are they trying to accomplish? Like, what are their goals? What are they really doing by chanting out Antifada over the whole world or something? You know, that's what they do, right? Like, we saw those college protests a while back. They're outright insane. They're pro-Hamas. Most of these people are pro-Hamas, just outright. They hold signs up, pro-Hamas, blah, 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 blah. Like, what? What is going on, right? Like, we didn't get Democrats protesting at the RNC. You would figure Democrats would protest the RNC, but they didn't. But, you know, that's just a little sidebar, I guess you could say, that just, it's a quandary, if you will. We cannot, in good conscience, continue Muslim Women for Harris walls in light of this new information from the uncommitted movement that VP Harris's team declined their request to have a Palestinian American speaker take the stage at the DNC, the group wrote in a statement. We pray that the DNC and VP Harris's team makes the right decision before this convention is over, for the sake of each of us. There are 30 uncommitted delegates at the Democratic convention, and leaders of the uncommitted movement, which has called on Vice President Harris and the Democrat Party to commit to an arms embargo, have also been pushing Harris and Democrats to allow a Palestinian to speak at the convention. The convention and uncommitted delegates have been negotiating throughout the week, according to uncommitted organizers. Well, this is just crazy. This is just so fun to poke fun at the Democrats a little bit. However, in the early hours of Thursday morning, the last day of the convention, Abbas Alaway, I guess that's how you pronounce that. I'm sorry for mispronouncing your name. One of the leaders of the uncommitted movement announced that convention officials had called and told him that no Palestinian would be allowed to speak during the event. Right? Did they actually say it like that? Like, I really wish we could get some audio file or something of that conversation or that phone call or whatever the hell it was. Like, I would like to hear it. Was that the exact words? No Palestinian is going to speak. Like, that's just crazy. Right? This is coming from the party of tolerance, by the way. This is coming from the party of, they're supposed to be anti-racists. They're supposed to be the ones that aren't racist. And their own party says, no Palestinian. No. Not that person in particular. No Palestinian. So, there you go, folks. You've got this Hamas arm of the Democrat Party that just going insane on the Democrats themselves, because the Democrats comprise of a lot of Jews, folks. There are a lot of Jews, and Jews are greatly upset with Hamas. And understandably, they're greatly upset with Palestine in general because of what Hamas did, and because Palestinians voted for Hamas to take the reins of government in that country. And, I just love this. I hate to see death and destruction, to be honest with you. But like I said, I'm trying to bring some levity to this situation. You hate to see it, but when you vote for a terrorist organization to hold the reins of your government, for crying out loud, you would think that these people might expect terrorism to take place, which is exactly what's going on right now. And I will say that outright with full confidence that Palestinians are being terrorized right now by Israel. Yeah, most certainly they are. But, it's of their own making. Now, do I like to see that? No, I don't. I don't like to see innocent people killed. These kids, children, cannot vote, for crying out loud, so they had no say in the matter, and they don't deserve to be just taken off the map like they are, right? That just aggravates me to no end. But once again, folks, when you vote for terrorism, you can't be mad when that's what you get. You can't be mad. These people stormed into Israel, killed a bunch of people, and captured a bunch of people. What do you think is going to happen, right? Like, anybody out there in the comment section, let me know. If you go up to a giant beehive and just start swatting at bees trying to kill them, what do you think is going to happen? Right? Like, that's what I would love to tell some of these activists. What do you think is going to happen? Do you think just a couple of bees are going to come out and sting you? No, the entire swarm is going to kill you. That's right. The entire swarm is going to kill you. Alloway, other uncommitted organizers and protesters then started a sit-in in front of the convention site in Chicago. Alloway has said that he is still waiting for a call from the Harris team or Democratic officials allowing for a Palestinian to speak. The Hill has contacted the Harris campaign and convention organizers for comment. Reps Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, Rashida Tlaib, and Cori Bush FaceTimed with participants of the sit-in and expressed their support, and Rep Ilhan Omar joined the protesters and sat with them. During the sit-in, Muslim Women for Harris Walls announced they plan to disband. That's crazy, y'all, that they're just going to go ahead and disband after this. That's like, I wonder why. Just because they can't speak at the DNC? Like, what's up with that? So, Muslim Women for Harris Walls is disbanding. So, this is kind of good news. I wonder if these people are still going to support Kamala Harris in the election, in the upcoming election, right? Like, you can't see these people like voting for Trump, can you? I just don't see anybody who is actually committed to voting for Kamala Harris voting for Trump, because anybody with a sane brain is going to look at the policy differences here and go with the better choice, right? Which is obviously Trump. So anybody that looks at the two policy positions, right? Because one has good policy and the other one doesn't have much policy whatsoever. They obviously don't care about policy. They obviously don't care about the direction of this country. They obviously don't care about $1.7 trillion deficit spending. They obviously don't care about $200 billion to Ukraine, who invaded Russia, by the way. That's outright insane. I think we should just go ahead and cut them off right now. That's crazy. But, anybody that looks at Kamala Harris and says, yes, I'm going to vote for this person, there's something wrong with them. They are either Trump deranged, or they don't know and don't care and are just voting blue no matter who. Regardless of who it is, they're gonna vote Democrat because Democrat policy. That's why. Because they want this country to go even further down the drain than it already has, right? We've seen the destruction of the economy. The economy is teetering on the brink of absolute collapse, and I don't know if we're gonna survive the collapse, because we've still got months and you've still got time, if Trump wins, to get in there and actually turn this thing around. It's not going to happen overnight, folks, right? We don't see the results of a new administration until about 2 years into that administration. We got to have time for votes and everything. We got to make up policy and make up regulations, pass legislation and all this garbage, get all that into play, and then it takes time for these things to take effect. So it's not going to be overnight. So, yeah, what we're seeing right now is the result of Joe Biden getting elected in 2020. That's what we're seeing right now. That's just crazy to me to think that anybody would look at that and be like, yes, what's going on right now is good, and we want more of this. I don't see it, folks. I don't see it whatsoever. So this Muslim women disbanding thing, hopefully they're going to vote for somebody else, right? They're not going to be able to vote for RFK because he's about to drop out and get on with the Trump team. Obviously, that's what it's looking like, right? Like, I pretty much am so sure about this. I titled my video that, yes, that's exactly what he did, right? And it's kind of clickbaity, and I do apologize for that. But, in my mind, it's already happened. Because of the articles I've been reading about this, I haven't covered all the articles I've read on this issue. There have been several articles come out about this, and it just seems like, given Shanahan's comments, she came on Fox News and pretty much gave more credence. Like, it's pretty much a done deal at this point. It's all but happened. And I'm not one to make predictions, and I'm getting on the record right now saying this is almost a certainty. I will say it's already happened, pretty much. But getting right back to the story right quick, don't you love that Cori Bush was there representing these people? Yeah, she got booted from Congress. The squad has been disbanded, by the way. Pretty much. Jamal Bowman and Cori Bush, both of them are out. Yeah, that's 2 of the 5 squad members. I believe it's 5. I think 11, correct me if I'm wrong down in the comments. The family of the Israeli hostage that was on the stage tonight has shown more empathy towards Palestinian Americans and Palestinians than our candidate or the DNC has. That's insane. Muslim Women for Harris Wall said in their statement, "This is a terrible message to send to Democrats. Palestinians have the right to speak about Palestine." Yes, they do. But that doesn't necessarily mean that they have the right to get up on a convention stage and speak about it, right? Like, you got to be invited to do that. You don't just get to do that. It's not just a God-given right that you have the right, so you're just going to go right up there and do it. No, I'm sorry, that's not how reality works, folks. And that's what's wrong with Democrats. They don't adhere to what reality dictates. The group was referring to John Poland and Rachel Goldberg, the parents of hostage Hirsch Goldberg Poland, who spoke Wednesday and called for a ceasefire that ends the suffering of the innocent people in Gaza. Yeah, I wouldn't say they're innocent so much. They voted for Hamas, by the way. Yeah, people tend to forget that. Ruo Roman, a state representative from Georgia who is Palestinian and has been floated as a potential convention speaker, told The Hill that the disbanding of Muslim Women for Harris Walls represents a glimmer of hope being snuffed out. Yeah, there was a glimmer of hope. Community members just wanted to see that they were seen. It's what I've been warning about before, said Roman. The group was the beginning of something amazing, but it was snuffed. Harris and Democrats have been walking a tightrope working to engage Palestinian Muslim and Arab voters almost 10 months after Hamas's attack on Israel killed some 1,200 people and provoked an Israeli military response that has killed more than 40,000 Palestinians in Gaza, most of whom are women and children, according to the United Nations, not according to The Hill, and not according to anybody else. Before Harris became the nominee, large swaths of uncommitted voters had turned away from the Democratic Party, but some viewed Harris as more likely to hear their concerns and work with them. But bye-bye to those views. Yeah, that's no longer a thing, right? Because Harris doesn't seem to give a damn. The DNC doesn't give a damn. If you step out of line with what the corporate elite, which is what the Democrat Party is these days, is the corporate elite. If you get out of line with what they're talking about, yeah, you're just as good. You're far right. You're just as good as being a far right white nationalist or something to them. They don't care. Don't know. Don't care. Get the hell out of here. That's why their own people are protesting them at their own convention. That blows my mind. Right? Like, guys, I understand this probably has taken place for years and years and years at every DNC for a while, but I didn't pay attention to politics before 2020. So I'm new to this, right? And I just started reading the news, several months ago when I started doing YouTube, right? Like, if you want to see something very cringeworthy, go go to my video archive, and right at the top it'll say popular and the newest and then oldest. Click oldest and click one of my first videos. You can see exactly how green I was and how vastly different I am now than I was then. I started from nothing, folks, like absolute nothing. I didn't know what I was doing. I just decided one day that I wanted to do this and started doing it. And that's what I do now. And it's crazy to me that how much better I've gotten, right? You go back and watch one of those videos, you're like, holy shit, he sucks. And, I was wondering why I wasn't getting any views. But, it's just getting back to the story, which, I'm done with that story. That's it. That's all of it. But, I'm going to just rant for the rest. So if you don't want to hear my rant, just, I'll see you later or whatever. But, it blows my mind that the DNC, that people in their own party protest the DNC. That's the craziest thing to me, right? Like, the violent protests, too, like these getting out of hand, people arrested and all that garbage. It's funny to me to watch that because you don't get that at the RNC, right? And independents don't have an independent, national convention, right? The libertarians don't do that either, as a matter of fact. The Green Party for sure don't do that. They're all tree-hugging hippies over there, so it's all love and peace with them. But, it just blows my mind just how insane the Democrat Party is and how many people are actually Democrats and will proudly proclaim that they're Democrats and they're backing Kamala Harris. Like, I look at these people and I'm like, wow, really? I feel sorry for you. Pay attention or something, right? Like, that was one of the whole reasons, like, I brought this channel into existence, was because the corporate press lies, because they lie on behalf of the Democrat Party constantly. And that's just an injustice to me, right? I'm not a Republican. I guess you could say I am a Republican, but technically I'm a registered independent. I don't like the Republican Party too much either. There are some people The only politicians I do like are just so happen to be Republicans. I'll put it that way. But there's not very many, folks. There's maybe 10 that are okay. There's maybe 20 that are not bad. I'll put it that way. But the rest are garbage. Republicans, Democrats, and independents alike. The rest are garbage. You know, there's like 30 politicians that are a net positive. I'll put it that way. They're a net positive, which is insane to me. Out of 435 congressmen, 100 senators, a president, a vice president, and all the cabinet officials. That's a lot of people, folks. That's a whole lot of people. And there's only about 30 of those people. That's probably less than 1%. Probably. I'm not sure. I didn't do the math in my head. I'm just guessing at that. But it's probably less than 1% are actually not negative. Not a net negative, right? There's only 10 that are any good. But I think I've rambled on for long enough on this one. I want y'all to let me know what y'all think about all this down in the comments section. Is this just not insane to you? Like the Democrats are protesting themselves, and that finally some people are starting to see the light that realize that, yeah, if you're on the opposite side of the established, protocol for Democrats, that, yeah, they don't care about you. You're just as good as white nationalists or something. Yeah. Let me know what you think about all this down in the comment section. That's all I got for this one. I want to thank everybody for watching, and y'all try to have a good day. Stay legitical. Peace.